So in today's video, I'm coming at you with a hypnotist reacts video to other hypnotists. So let's jump into the video. This is Zach Pincince. Now, he actually blew up on TikTok and his videos are great. I love him. I love the way that he does stuff. I love his energy towards hypnosis. Someone's skirting around here in Mexico. I love the way he approaches hypnosis. I love his energy, and he's a very fascinating guy to watch. So let's jump into the video.
You were telling me a moment ago that you don't believe you don't think it's real, all right?
Well,
the thing is that anyone can be hypnotized, but no one can that doesn't want to. So as it
Okay, perfect. So the first thing that's going on here is that anyone can be hypnotized. Now, the best thing to do before you hypnotize anyone is pre-frame everything. Pre-frame, pre-talk, you can call it whatever, but the best thing that you're doing here is you're telling them that anyone can be hypnotized, because the truth is everyone can be hypnotized. You go into hypnosis at least twice a day, first in the morning, second in the evening. Sometimes when you drive, it's called highway hypnosis. If you've ever driven somewhere and you've been like, where did the last 30 minutes just go? It's effectively a state of hypnosis. Now, that's where the subconscious mind takes over. I'm not gonna go into that here, but pre-framing everything before you hypnotize anyone, especially someone who doesn't believe in hypnosis, is the most important thing you can do.
Hypnotist, I give you instructions. If you listen to them, then it'll work. If you don't, then nothing happens, all right?
Exactly.
So I know you said you don't think it's real, but you're open, right?
Instructions.
So the more open you are, the more you give yourself permission to allow it to work instead of trying to prove that it doesn't, the more it will, okay? So what I'll have you do, so take your hands out of your pocket for me.
And actually what you'll notice here, what he did, he said a lot of things very quickly which confused the girl. So straight away, when you confuse someone, you talk really quickly, you start to put them into a state of hypnosis because their mind's trying to catch up with what you're saying and they don't really understand what you're saying, so you're saying it really fast and they're and their mind goes, huh? And you're actually opening them up into a state of hypnosis effectively. You're just making your life easier as a hypnotist.
You will. And just let them relax down by your side.
There you go, straight away.
Relax down by your side and just look here. Look right at the center of this hand.
Get them to focus.
And as you look there, let yourself take a deep breath in.
Compliance.
And let it out.
Doing what I tell you. That's right.
Let your eyes stay right at the center of my hand, and as your eyes stay there, let your mind focus on my voice. Even though you can still hear other noises and sounds, just let yourself focus on me and only on me.
There you go.
That's right. And in a moment I'm gonna...
That's just the... Whenever I work with someone, I always say, there we go. There you go. Keep doing that. I didn't even realize it just pops out. You start to do it every time when you do hypnosis.
I say the word sleep. When I do, you're not gonna go to sleep. You're just going to allow your eyes to close and let yourself drop into a sleep-like trance, sleep-like state where you relax and let
Because that's the biggest thing, especially if someone doesn't believe in hypnosis, they think they're going to fall asleep, and it's not true. Hypnosis, you can hear me throughout the whole thing. Some people have different levels of suggestibility, obviously, but Zach is doing more of a sort of entertaining hypnosis where you're just explaining some of the things you can do, so you don't have to spend hours or don't even have to spend minutes putting someone into a trance, because you can do a rapid shock induction, which you'll see in a moment.
Focus only on my voice. You'll always stay completely balanced on your feet. You'll never get so relaxed you fall over, but you'll let yourself get as relaxed as possible. You'll allow your eyes to close and you'll let yourself focus on only my voice.
Focus.
When I say that word, sleep. Let your eyes close. Just let those eyes close. Let them close.
See, right there is like a thing where she doesn't still quite believe it yet, so Zach does a great job of literally telling her what to do and guiding her through the process.
It's all the way down. I can't make you close your eyes. I can't.
Again, affirming that you're not forcing them to do it. They're doing it out of their own will, which just encourages them, again, telling them they're safe, all this kind of stuff.
Force you to close your eyes. By giving yourself permission to let them close, you just let yourself focus on my voice. Let yourself relax. You can already see and feel that you're holding tension in your body. Just release that tension. That's right. Just release the tension. Let this arm by...
So what he's done here is perfect, I think. Well, personally, from my opinion. When someone, you can see that they're not quite feeling it, or they're laughing and stuff like that, you want to really encourage the state of relaxation, and just by picking someone's arm up.
Your side, get loose, limp, relaxed.
Dropping it down.
Loose and relaxed. Almost as if I wasn't holding it, it would just fall down by your side easily. And as it falls down, let yourself drop twice as relaxed.
There you go.
Now.
Because anyway, that's going to help someone.
This other arm, same thing. Loose, limp, and relaxed. Take all that tension out. All that tension. No more tension. No more tension.
Because the simple way to hypnotize someone is body relaxation.
Let yourself relax. Drop now. Even deeper. Focus on my voice and only on my voice. And as you focus on my voice, I want you to focus as you're relaxing on one particular area, on just your eyelids. In fact, let your eyelids get even more relaxed than the rest of you is right now. In fact, let your eyelids get so relaxed.
And then the click is not necessary, but it just kind of adds to the theatrics of it, and actually reaffirms to them, the individual being hypnotized, that something is happening when the click, the loud noise, because again, you're sparking the brain to go, what was that? Okay, I can relax. And it's sort of just keeping the brain on alert, then relaxed, but again, keeping them very safe.
You find they become so relaxed they won't and can't open. And when you've allowed them to get that relaxed, go ahead and test it out and notice they become so heavy and relaxed. The more you try to open them, the heavier that they get. Notice what happens. If you try to open your eyes, what happens?
I can't.
Right. But watch, when I kind of...
So he's emphasizing, so with the hypnotic language, they won't and can't open. You see him using these words, emphasizing these words, so that they stand out a bit more to the subconscious, not the conscious mind. Someone who's not in the hypnosis world or doesn't understand that type of stuff, they won't really pick up on it. But if you know what you're talking about and you know what you're looking for, then you're going to understand it a lot easier. Again, trying is assuming failure, because when you try to do something, you either do it or you don't do it. You can't really try to do something. You can't try to drive a car. You either drive the car or you don't drive the car. If you try to do it and you actually move, then you did effectively drive the car. You just didn't have a great attempt. So what you're doing is you're starting with something small, like your eyes being stuck, which is it's a much more believable thing. And the best way to get someone in this style of hypnosis is, if it's believable, you start to build their belief. If I told you the earth was flat, you won't believe it. If you saw that the earth was flat, you would believe it. Now, I'm not a flat earther, but if you see it and you see the evidence, then it builds the belief within you. So what you're doing here, or what he's doing here, is building the belief of starting with something very simple, like your eyes being stuck, which can be very believable just because your eyes are relaxed. And when you try, and when you're told the suggestion that your eyes are stuck, your eyes begin to feel more stuck.
Easily, 1, 2, 3, and just like that. And now your eyes can open. All right, cool experience? So far, right? What did you notice on that experience?
You can see the belief.
And there's a little bit of tension and you weren't relaxing as much as first, but you notice how when you let yourself get there, you start to create that experience? Watch, go ahead and look.
And then what he's doing straight away, as soon as she comes out of hypnosis, he's just explaining, again, keeping her mind confused, explaining what's going on, explaining exactly what happened. Oh, your eyes were stuck, weren't they? They were actually stuck, like that sort of mindset towards it. Again, building her belief that the hypnosis is helping her eyes stick together.
As much as first, but you notice how when you let yourself get there, you start to create that experience? Watch, go ahead and look right here again. Let those eyes close. And just let yourself relax. That word sleep just helps you relax. Sleep doesn't mean you fall asleep. Sleep just means you let yourself relax. Just sink and drift and float.
Well, I like his sink and drift and float, and I actually use this. I don't know if I got it from him or I got it from someone else, but I love that sinking, drifting, floating, sink and drift and float. What you're doing is words of 3. I don't know if this is a massive thing in the hypnosis industry, but just the words of 3. And I know Darren Brown uses this, sort of rhyming words and words that sound nice, they're good on the mind, but sinking, drifting, floating down deeper, like those type of words, they really encourage hypnosis.
All the way down, loose, limp, relaxed. Just let yourself sleep. Sleep-like state of relaxation, concentration. Next time you open your eyes, just as your eyelids were stuck a moment ago, you're going to find that you're too...
There you go. So what he's doing is going from eyelids to feet. Again, feet are very, very, very believable. Jumping straight to something like I'm invisible, that's quite a big step. So you'll notice people that do this, they'll use that towards the end of the video because they don't want to start with something too crazy. And I've even done this. I've done this with someone before. But I'm gonna say I'm a skeptical when it comes to some things like this. And it's all down to the individual's ability of suggestibility, ability to be suggestible. And not everyone will be able to reach a deep level of hypnosis, but everyone can go into hypnosis. So it's different for everyone. And I just like to give my opinion on these things.
The feet have become completely stuck to the ground. The more you try to move them, the more stuck they are in place. Your feet are completely stuck to the ground. Next time you open your eyes, 1, 2, 3, awake. Good. All right. That was kind of strange with your eyelids, right? But notice what happens if you try to take a step forward. What feeling does that create?
What the fuck?
So
Your eyes are tripping right now.
Are stuck.
What happens if you really try to take a step forward? You notice that you can't, right? You notice that they're stuck.
You can't.
But watch, as soon as I tap you on the forehead, you're no longer stuck, you can move them easily.
Again, building belief. Now you've already got them. Once you get them in that state where they are stuck and they feel very stuck, you've got that belief straight away. And it's really easy to sort of work from there because...
Here, deep breath in.
Right.
Focus here, focus here.
There we go. Look, so she went to look away. So absolutely brilliant. What he just did was made sure he had her focus before he even did anything else. Because what he's done is he's made sure you focus on the hand. Gets her focus again to put her back into a state of hypnosis. And I mean, realistically, when someone's in a state of hypnosis, you don't just snap out of it even when they open their eyes. They're still effectively in the state of hypnosis. It's just, I suppose, more putting the theatric side of it to put someone back to that hypnosis, because they don't really need to be under, eyes closed, in order to have the changes, because it's based on suggestion at this point.
Only on me. Just let your eyes close and let yourself sleep. Let those eyes close. Let them close. I can't make your eyes.
See, there you go. This is brilliant. I think this is brilliant. A lot of people will panic at this point if they don't close their eyes. They're like, oh, they're not following along. But the great thing with hypnosis, and I've actually got a video, I think if you check this one out here, halfway through it, I say she just didn't want to go into hypnosis. And it wasn't necessarily that. It was more just like a bit of a resistance because of being unsure and all this kind of stuff. So the best thing you can do is just not panic in these situations, because all you really need with hypnosis is to be extremely confident with what you're doing. And just because they don't close their eyes and follow a suggestion or follow something you're encouraging them to do, doesn't mean you're failing. You're actually just allowing them to get back to the point, because failing is giving up, really. If you're just allowing yourself to do what is necessary, then and do it with a level and an air of confidence, then you're going to get the results, and you're going to get them back to the state of hypnosis where you want them to be.
Say close. All it does is with your eyes closed, it lets you concentrate and focus on my voice even further.
Again, completely just affirming everything again.
More.
Brilliant. He's doing absolutely. I think he's
Focus,
brilliant.
concentrate, relax, more. On me, on my voice. Next time you open your eyes, your feet are no longer stuck. However, next time you open your eyes, you're going to find that you completely forget your own first name. The more you try to remember it, the more you completely forget it. The more you try to say it, the more it just is stuck. You completely forget your own first name. Next time you open your eyes, 1, 2, 3,
what he's doing
awake.
here is again just
Good.
affirming.
Right. Good. That was kind of strange with your feet, wasn't it? You like tried to move them, you couldn't. And I know we forgot to do the intro at the beginning, but remind me again.
We forgot to do the intro. We forgot to do the intro at the beginning. You're encouraging forgetfulness.
Name was
Tiana.
Tiana, right? You notice how you think about it for a moment and then you could remember it.
Love this.
Right? But that's the interesting thing about hypnosis. If it was mind control, you would have been able to
just carrying on like nothing's happened.
It's
brilliant, because let's face it, not everyone has the exact same suggestibility, and just being able to go, yeah, of course, like you notice that you looked for it and you found it. Whereas if someone said, what's your name? I say, my name's Max. I don't have to look for my name. She's looked for it. So he's encouraging the forgetfulness, but it's just a suggestion that she hasn't accepted as well as the others. And again, that's okay, because not everyone is the same level of suggestibility.
Right. But you notice that same experience you created with your feet a moment ago, you know how you like felt your feet were stuck? That happened, right? You felt that, didn't you?
Because let's face it, the feet example and the eyelid example, what you're doing in hypnosis is you don't take control of their mind. You actually give them more control, and the suggestion is that they suggest to themselves, because I can suggest to someone to stop smoking as an example, but until they come up with the internal suggestion of I need to stop smoking, that's when the changes take place. So like in healing, sort of therapy, hypnosis, hypnotherapy. Whereas with here, you're encouraging them that they are convincing themselves that their feet are stuck to the floor, that they are convincing themselves that they've forgotten their name. That's all you're really doing in this situation.
Only before I opened my eyes.
Yeah. Right, but what happened when you opened your eyes?
I remembered it.
Yeah, but with your feet. Your eyes were open with your feet stuck,
I couldn't move
right?
my feet, yeah.
But the same thing is, technically you could move your feet whenever you want, right? But did you notice how by focusing on them being stuck, they were? Same thing with your name. Technically you could remember your name anytime you want, right? Mm-hmm. But do you notice how if you really focus on forgetting, you will? What if you put that same feeling you had a moment ago with your eyes closed, just now with your eyes open, where you find that you forget? The more you try to remember, the further and further it gets. The more you try to say it, it gets just as stuck as your feet were. Now if you try to remember that name, it was...
Fusion, brilliant technique.
You notice that feeling?
Yeah.
There you go, right? Mm-hmm. Like giving yourself permission to have that experience. Now we can bring it back. All we have to do is just...
If I'm being honest, sometimes I will say some people do play along for the cameras. And I'm not saying this is 100% in this case, but I understand why he's doing it, and you can do it. You're using the confusion, you're using the word forget a lot. Like you're really making it more difficult for someone to get to that point, and when you start to talk faster and you start to use words, like you really can start to confuse their mind. You can put them into that state that they don't really know what's going on, so effectively they are in that confused state. So I think what he's doing is brilliant, although at that point I would say she probably does remember her name. Could be completely wrong, but I would say she probably does remember her name. It's more just like, this is what I'm meant to do, if that makes sense.
Now you remember it was?
Tiana.
There you go. Pretty cool, right? Mm-hmm. And what do you think? You still think it's not real?
Yeah, I would say from her body language, it's not it's not quite, she doesn't believe it. Like, to my honest opinion, she doesn't quite believe it right there. And even her body language with her hands in her pocket, she's very closed off to everything. And to go into a real deep state of hypnosis, you have to be more open to it. So I don't think he's done anything wrong. I actually think he's done an absolutely perfect job here. He's come up against obstacles and he's overcome these obstacles quite easily, I think. And I think he's great. I really do think he's a good hypnotist.
I think it's pretty real.
I think it's pretty real after experiencing it for yourself. All right. Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Seeing is believing, believing is seeing. You can have the experience.
Thank you.
That's it. That's brilliant. So that's what it is. I think this is a great video. I think it's a great video of explaining what hypnosis is and how even someone who doesn't believe in hypnosis can be hypnotized. They just tend to come towards it with a bit more of a different attitude to say, oh, well, I don't think it's going to work. And straight away, as soon as you walk in with that attitude, if someone says that to me, I'm like, well, there's no point in me trying to hypnotize you. Implying the trying. Like, I'm either going to hypnotize you or I'm not. And to build great hypnosis, which he's done there, he's got good rapport. He's got he's got good rapport. His hypnotic language is brilliant. The noises, the gestures, and where he like taps her and sort of like that little jolt. You're encouraging hypnosis. I think he's done a brilliant job here. And yeah, if I'm honest, I think this is a great video and I just love his stuff. And I'm definitely going to react to a lot more of his videos because his stuff is brilliant. But I'm going to find some others. So if you want to see some more reaction videos, some hypnosis, if you have any people that you want me to react to specifically, I'm more than happy to do it. It's a new little segment I'm going to do. So other than that, subscribe.